that wouldn't be good. Go for it easy, Rick. Go easy. Oh no. You're good. Keep going. Slow. Easy.
Go for it. Perfect.
Okay, stop.
Wicked good. Hi everyone, Redneck Computer Geek here. This update's going to be a little bit rushed. We've got a pretty decent storm front coming in, and so we're going to do a walk around and do some updates. This wasn't exactly the way I intended to do this week's video, but you got to do what you got to do. That's the life of a YouTuber. I'd like to go and show you a couple of things as we walk around that are just little tidbits, helpful things that you guys might enjoy, and give you a basic rundown on how things are going with the cabin. One of the first things I wanted to show you is I wanted to show you this, and I'll make sure to put a link down in the description. This is a POWEROWL, and it actually charges off of a micro USB. So it charges off the same exact thing as my cell phone, and I love this. It charges AA's and it charges AAA's, and the other thing as a parent that I love is that it charges singular. It doesn't charge two at a time. So if you have items that are kids' toys that are 3 batteries or oddball 1 battery toys, this thing is priceless. The other thing you'll see... Oh, hi John.
Hey.
What is that?
It's a car that I put together myself.
Oh, cool.
I created it.
John's latest thing is to take multiple free cars that we get and put them together and make his own little creations.
Yep. With this one's screwdriver.
Okay. Yeah, he discovered most of them all come apart with the same Phillips size. So then in the back here, what we've got is we've got our power inverter that we just got. It's 1,000 watt with a 1,500 peak. We've been tinkering around with what we can actually run off of that. We'll give you an update on that later. And back here, we've got our skill, and we've got our regular inverter. And like I said, this skill system with the power batteries, I really am enjoying it. I use it quite often, and it charges the batteries literally in 20 minutes. So over here, we've got this box that we managed to score from the local lawn tractor implement salespeople. And they now set stuff out for me and John every Friday and every Saturday. And basically what they do is they set out one good one, and then they set out a bunch of junk that's in it. And these things here literally just barely fit between my rails. And they're a standard size, and we've ended up with, this will be the 5th one, I think. Is this the 5th one? Yeah, I think we're on the 5th.
We have 3 and 4.
So we set this up because I discovered that the railing piece here is roughly just a little bit under 16 inches. I think it's 15 inches. So we're going to stack this full of wood, and that way we'll have wood for this winter. Not for this, but for there. I've ordered up a regular little camp stove with the 3-inch pipe, and we're going to drive it straight up through the entire roof, and we'll probably box it off in the upstairs where the pipe is going to be. We haven't quite decided there. So what do you think of our awning? Clearance 9'6" is what it says on the side of it. Gotta love Dunkin' Donuts. See if I can brighten that up. There we go, clearance 9'6". So we got the siding on. We got a couple of spots that are a little bit wonky, but nothing too major. We've started to put a little bit of skirting on. Eventually I'll probably come back around with pieces of foam if I can get the money set aside for it. As you can see, up through all the way to the peak is done. And everything's all set up there. Yeah, John's little shovel has definitely helped out quite a bit in this project. And so now we'll take you inside. And so we got our nice pallet down here and up across. This actually is made from the slats that they put underneath the shipping. If you're at your local lumber yard and these things get delivered to job sites all the time and people give them away, and they're good solid wood, they're just really awkwardly shaped. We discovered something interesting, and I bought this panel with a charging kit, and it's got a USB charge on one side, and it's got a controller that hooks up to here for charging car batteries. Unfortunately, we discovered the 2 scooter batteries are dead as a doornail and will not cycle. But I'll post a link for this kit because it chains with the iClever. So if I come out of this, I'm charging my iClever, I've got my battery pack, and then out of the iClever, I can hook this directly to my cell phone, and I have a 3 amp charge. Well, this is cycling through 2 solar panels to charge the battery pack that's in the iClever. Works really good. Oh, and this little bugger here, I love this thing. I can't turn it on so I don't violate YouTube, but it holds 3 AA's. It's got a built-in lithium. It's got a flip-out charger that you rotate and spin, and for about 5 minutes worth of spinning that thing, you get about 15 minutes worth of music time. It's got a solar panel on top, and it does actually charge up the lithium battery in about 3 hours worth of solid sun. You can see right there it's charging just from us sitting here. If you flip it up, you've got a light. Yeah, go ahead. Got another spotlight on the front. And so we've got AM, FM, and see if I can get this to focus. There we go. Weather band, AM, FM, volume, and the radio. And the other thing is on the bottom here, you can either use the lithium pack or you can use AA's that you put in it. And on the back here, you've got a headphone jack for the kids. You've got a charging port. And then you've also got an emergency cell phone out. Now, before you get excited about the idea that you can crank it up in order to charge your cell phone, it takes roughly 4.5 hours of cranking to charge your general smartphone. I don't think I care to be in enough of an emergency that it takes me 4.5 hours of cranking to use my phone, but you never know. So inside, we got the OSB on the outside. We're going to come over here, and we've got our toggle. Oh, there we go. So we've been using the lantern here, and that's in order to go and burn off all of the water vapor that is showing up because of the propane heaters, which is the reason why it is we're converting over to a wood stove soon. But we've been down to 28 degrees outside using just this on its high setting. Sometimes we turn this on and we blast it a little bit to bring it up just a little bit. But as you can see, there's currently no insulation. And I get a lot of you talking about the moisture buildup and whether this is a bad idea and all that kind of stuff. And let me tell you one thing about this. Once the insulation is in, it should be fine. Now, as far as water buildup goes, I don't get any. Except for places like this. See where that crack is, where the daylight is shining through? Those little spots, I will end up with moisture. And that's just a matter of going outside and sealing it up, and it should be fine. Now the problem is, you don't want to seal it up too far because you want to be able to have some air flowing in order to be able to cycle your burners and eventually the wood stove. But there we are. Oh, fun one. I'm going to post up a link. So for everybody, let's see if you actually do any checking here. This is dry, guys. And I'm going to post up a link in the description. And I'm not going to flip this around because of what it says on the back of it. But if you have really, really sweaty feet and you need something in order to keep yourself from getting athlete's foot, dry, guys. Check the link and then go read what it says it's for. Oh yeah, so speaking of insulation, we have been working on getting insulation up above done. Oh, there we go. So we had a friend give us some lights, and they work out really well. Yet again, I tell everybody, if you want to get me something that has batteries, make sure they're removable so that I can put some rechargeables in. It's just that simple. Either that or something that plugs in and charges on a micro USB. So here we are. We've got our R19 in, and it definitely is starting to make a difference. Now on the ends over here, if you guys want to get into a big debate, here's what I'm debating. I've got, let me go down on this end where it's easier to see. I've got a 1-inch gap here. And what I've been debating is putting in a piece of 1-inch thick foam, slide it in, and then press it, and glue it around all the edges. And do that one on each side. So that would be 1, 2, 1, 2. So it's 2 pieces of foam. So that's like $40. R value of a 9. But later on, I can put another piece over the top of it and glue it over the top of it, and that would bring my 9 R value up to an 18, and it would bring it out to being flat faced. I don't intend to mount anything on that wall or the other end. What do you guys think? I'm also debating some small windows. The ongoing debate has been probably one right about here, and maybe one over in here somewhere. Haven't quite decided yet. The other problem is whether I have a ladder that is capable of getting to that area, because the ladder that's outside I'm borrowing from a friend in exchange for some labor. So I've got to go in. So there we go. And there will be a follow-up video on why this exists now. I bet you can probably guess why. Feel free. There we are. Stepping out on the front porch. I love this. This makes it feel like home. This is awesome. Hi everybody, have fun. Thank you for supporting the channel. I definitely will have a more interesting video up next week. Thanks for subscribing. Have a good day.